Hey, it's Pete Checkley for Sample Library Review, and today I'm checking out Modular Moods by PulseSetter Sounds. PulseSetter Sounds have gained a reputation for combining quirky ideas with killer sound design to make one-stop modern cinematic instruments. With previous titles such as my personal favourite, Epic Babies, and one of Sample Library Review's best of 2020 libraries, Dystopian Guitars, PulseSetter Sounds are adding a modular twist to their latest library. If you're looking for a collection of modular pads, plucks, sequences and construction kits for your next cue, this might be the library for you. Modular Moods downloads at 4GB and contains 24 generative patches with 144 stems, 24 modular sequences, 20 pads and 23 plucked synth instruments. It requires the full version of Contact 5.8 or better, and it normally sells for $59.99, but it's on sale at the moment for $44.99 on introduction. Modular Moods is based upon modular synthesis, so it's all about those huge racks, lots of wires, and each different module creates a different sound or does something different to the sound. That's the most basic way to put it. So it's very, very expensive. That's the other thing to consider. So having it in an instrument like this is really, really cool. Now on the left, you can see there are 4 different categories. So you have pads, pluck synths, generative patches, and modular sequences. So we're going to start off with the generative patches. And you can see just straight away, we have all of these different presets. So I'm working in 120. So I'm going to load up one called the Mainframe. Now, before we look at the controls, on the bottom left, you have the different key switches. So you can change between the key you're playing in, and then you have the different layers or the different stems on the blue keys. So if I play the first blue key, I'll put it into C. So you've got this instant modular soundscape. Sounds absolutely brilliant. Let's load another one. I'll go to Pingpong. So it's proper vintage, and yeah, PulseSetter have done a brilliant job of sampling and putting these together. Now, if you play different stems, so if I play the next blue key, we have that layer going on. If I add another key to it, so you can either take the full layer or you can just sort of build and progress as you go. So yeah, these are very cool, very vintage, and to my ears, they sound absolutely brilliant. Here's Star Voyage. And it's instant cinema. So you can change the different key you're playing in. Now, what I noticed when I was sort of learning the instrument and getting used to it, in the DAW, make sure that you have everything completely on the grid, and then you won't get some bizarre transitions. So when I play in real time, it might sort of seem like it's sort of almost like got this electronic legato going on. So let's just play, I'll change to a different preset. They all sound absolutely brilliant, and I can find loads of places I'd use these. So here's Dark Heroes. So I'm just going to move around different keys. Let's start in E. And of course they do tempo sync to your DAW. So whichever one you choose, it will stretch to whatever your project's set to. Now, this over here is almost like a distortion or saturation control. So I'm just going to bring this down, and this adds this really, really rich modular sound. So let's open up Calming Breeze, why not? So I absolutely love that sound. It's proper vintage and makes everything just sound, I don't know, like obviously crunchier. Yeah, really, really cool. Now, I'm going to play a demo of all these categories a little bit later on. Let's move on to Modular Sequences. And I'm playing from a 7,200 RPM mechanical drive on this occasion, and everything loads so quickly. Modular Sequences, you got two choices, off or on. And we have our blue keys, which this time will each play a different sequence. All of these sound absolutely great. Now, again, you can change your key. And of course you can layer them up. And you get some really cool sort of experimental ideas. And again, we have our saturation. At the top, we have different effects as well. So if I hold down, let's go for random. So if I want to get a cool gate effect. Sounds great. And a distortion effect. And if you take your finger off, the effect instantly disappears. So and of course you can combine the different effects. So the controls are really, really straightforward. Now on the top part we have our volume controls, we have different tunings. You can pan left to right. So I'll keep that central. And then you can use a filter effect. So if I bring that up, in fact, I'm just going to reload them very quickly so we're back in tune. Okay, so I actually loaded the wrong instrument. There we go. So modular sequences. Now, if I play, let's go that one, investigating, and let's play it in E. Put the saturation up. Now, any of these can be mapped to the mod wheel. So the mod wheel, when you load it, has nothing assigned to it. Now, so I'm a huge fan of filter effects. So it's very cool, obviously, to be able to do that in the instrument. Now, if we go to plucked synths, there are quite a few presets we can use. So this one is Bell Tower. And let's try Bold Statement. So I would probably, even before I've even heard it, I'm just going to bring up the saturation. Sounds absolutely brilliant. Yeah, PulseSetter sounds have really captured this modular effect. Let's try hollow mallets. Sounds ace. And the playable range is really good. So you get some really cool low basses and lots of highs. So again, I'm going to play through some more of these in a sort of preset playthrough in a minute. And then we have our pads. So let's just go straight from the off. Creatures hatch. Sounds really dusty. Yeah. Do you like that? Sounds so warm and incredibly vintage still. Let's try squared up. That's a really quick overview of the 4 different categories in modular moods. However, in true PulseSetter sound style, you can manipulate and mangle the sounds within the instrument even more. So at the moment, I'm on the squared up pad. I'm bringing up the distortion again and a little bit more volume so you can really exaggerate these sounds. So the attack, if I bring that down, you can hear the start of the sample really well. And the decay, sustain, release, if I just start adjusting these, you can create these really, really cool shorts. Sounds brilliant. I'm just going to make the release. Very cool. If I just quickly reload the patch, so we're on squared up, and again, do the same things. The gate down the bottom, if you just simply turn it on and hold down a note or a chord, you get this really useful gate. And you can just draw in if you want to. So I'm just going to exaggerate a little bit. Let's go right up. Right down. So it's an instant pattern creator, and you can just click randomize. And of course you can change the amount of steps being used and the rate. So if we go up to, let's go to 30-second notes, let's go randomize a couple of times. And then if you combine that with, let's say, the filter, some very cool effects. And that's not all. On the effects page, we have all of this going on as well. So you can add distortion, and simply you just turn these on and bring up the drive. And the saturation. We can add some pan effects. Pan to the left or the right. can change the width, even add a sequence. Very cool effects. If I just turn off the, there you go, the gate. Add some delay. So again, I bring the attack down. Actually, yep, that's not on. Let's just bring the level down. Okay, so just cut off the start of the sample. Get these really cool delay effects. You can lo-fi the sounds as well, add a sequence. And again, just draw in whatever you want. Very cool. And you can program a filter. So there's plenty of effects to play with within the Modular Moods instrument. What I'm going to do now is just turn off the mic and play through different examples from all 4 categories. And yeah, it's really experimental and, like I say, very cinematic and really captures the mood of modular synthesis. So for me, it's just a really enjoyable instrument to play around with. And there we have it. That is Modular Moods by PulseSetter Sounds. So my final thoughts, well, first of all, it's incredibly well sampled, and PulseSetter Sounds have really captured that modular feel. I love the sound design capabilities of this library all the way through. All I want to do is just start sort of mess around with different effects and change the parameters and just come up with even more cool designs. But I did stick to mainly out of the box sounds. So yeah, you can get so much mileage out of this library, and of course that makes it incredible value for money. So it's ticking so many boxes for me. It's very, very cinematic, and I can see this being used in cinematic scores. I can see it being used in tension, in crime, even just sort of fading in and out, or creating a new texture, or throwing an arpeggio in. It's really, really versatile. I love the layout of the library, the stems and the layers. You could spend hours just dropping those into different projects just to give a different color or a different feel to what you're making. So it's a great toolkit. It's very modular, and if you're really into that sound, I really, really urge you to pick this library up. Thank you so much for checking out this first look of Modular Moods by PulseSetter Sounds. If you like what you saw and heard, leave us a like and leave us a comment letting us know your thoughts on this library, how you'd use it, where would you use it. Once you've done that, please check out our other videos on the channel, and then head over to sampleLibraryReview.com to check out everything that's going on in the magnificent world of virtual instruments. Until next time, take care and have a great day.